I'm Roman Floyd. I go to Whitney High School. I'm a wide receiver, DB, quarterback, punt returner, all sorts of positions, all over the place. And I'm here at 65 Sports, ready for this interview. I started playing football when I was in eighth grade. That's when I started. Um, my favorite position to play is wide receiver. The reason for that is because ever since I've watched football, I've always been attracted to the receivers catching the ball, running their routes crisp and clean, their get offs especially. And then my favorite part about being a wide receiver is just being going up in the air with the ball. That's just feels amazing to me. First game I'll get into, first play really was Intercom, first playoff game of the season. First time I've ever been in the playoffs actually. We are pinned at the goal line. It is roughly the first quarter, and we are third down and 16. And we get a max protect call for our play call on offense, and I have to run a comeback. So my get off is a little shaky in the beginning, and then I actually end up spinning and turning the wrong way. But then I do a little toe tap on the sideline, and we get the first down. And that was just a lovely play. Loved that play a lot. I watched it over and over again. And then the next play I'll get into is Rocklin. So against Rocklin, we didn't do so well. It was we had a tough situation with some of our players being out, injured, and some of them just were transfers and they just couldn't play in that early in the season. So we had a tough time against them. Late in the fourth quarter, we were down. I don't even want to say the score, but it's a goal line play, and my quarterback Trevor Argus at the time. It's the play call was Roman fade, and it was a fade. I ran a fade, and I catch it. I go up with a cornerback from Rocklin, and I come down with it. I barely get a foot in, and it was. I was the best. As I said, I love being up in the air with the ball. That's my thing. So this is a funny story. So there's a timeout right before this play, and we come over to our head coach, our defensive coordinator, obviously, and we get to him, and the whole time I didn't really listen to him, if I'm honest, and I was just staring at our end zone. I was staring on the other side of the field, 99 yards away, and we come out of the huddle, and I'm yelling at our defense, we need to get a shutout, we need to get a shutout. Our whole game plan that week, our whole goal was just to get the shutout. So we're pinned at our goal line on defense, and I'm playing corner. I'm playing a cover two corner, and I end up playing on the wrong side. So our other corner, Phoenix Rose, he's on the opposite side of me, and it's split-second decision, too late, and I wave him off. I say, stay over there. And then I have a safety over here. He's actually on the wrong side too. Our free safety, Anthony Parker. And he's right there. And I see the number 2, so I'm reading a 2-1. I see the number 2 he runs it out. And then the number 1 runs like a little post or a fade in the corner. And I wasn't really paying attention to that because it was kind of deep in the end zone. I would rather be in front of the ball than obviously behind the ball. So I take my drop and I'm in between the number 1 receiver and the quarterback, which is where I would like to be. So I set myself up pretty good, I'd say. And then I see that out route and I look at the QB, and I see him look there, so I just go. He hasn't thrown the ball yet, so I go, puts the ball out there, and just thankful I made the play and I was right there to get it. And then, as it turns out, I was running down the sideline, and one of our defensive ends, he was blocking for me, and it was weird because their receiver, he had like stopped in the middle of the like sideline. He was ready to tackle me, and he just didn't try to tackle me, and then I split our guy and his guy and their guy, and it was just kind of weird because I figured like he would try to tackle me. I was going to go out of bounds actually. But I just took it all the way back and realized I had so much green grass, and I just took it. My zone, I'll mention how I get into my zone, is usually, so before every game, I learned it my junior year from a couple of my older brothers from see their senior year, and I watched them how they prep for games, and I kind of took it into account that I could just listen to music, do my own thing, and I kind of sometimes I would just go to my car and I would just kind of listen to music, melodies kind of get me going, and then I shut them off. AirPods are out. It's right before I walk out, and then I walk out, and specifically before the Intercom game, I was walking out. I'm playing the melody over and over in my head still, and then I get down there, and my main thing. I'm a very superstitious person, so my superstition is little. I have to dap up my friends before the game or something. But my main thing is I look to my parents and I look for them because biggest fans that I have, complete guidance from them, complete support, and I look to them, and that's when it clicks. That's when it clicks, and I get in my zone. My next thing, I think I'm going to end up at a community college, and take my talents there, and then go play from there. See what happens. Hopefully, get a couple scholarships here and there. And then you get that hit the weight room, get bigger, get faster, especially. Wide receivers got to be fast. Julio Jones was always my favorite receiver. I loved watching him, loved seeing him go up for balls, especially. Calvin Johnson. Now Devontae Adams is probably my favorite player in the NFL. Him and Justin Jefferson. I feel like I emulate Justin Jefferson a little bit. That's why I kind of chose him. What I've learned the most is that really if I focus on one thing only, then I'm most likely to achieve it more times than not to hit that goal. And other than that, also I've learned a lot about myself actually. But I've learned a lot about myself emotionally, mentally, physically. It really teaches me. It really taught me a lot, and taught me a lot about myself. Football, it's weird. It like gives me this feeling. It gives me this feeling like I can't really describe it or explain it. It's like I'm attracted to it. It's my thing, I guess. My thing is I really want to just be. I want to be able to look back, and even if I've made mistakes, done something here and there, I just want to be proud of the outcome. The outcome is not always the biggest thing, but looking back, especially, is the outcome. But other than that, it's really about the journey. That's like the best thing, even no matter the outcome. Playing Antelope wasn't the best outcome, but how we got there was a ride. A lot of those guys I'm really close friends with. I don't see them being out of my life anytime soon. But when it comes to the whole team, I think that we're all going to look back on running gassers, running liners, coach yelling at us, getting our grill just to motivate us to be better, to be stronger, to get faster, to be smarter about football. The conversation will be about all the feuds, this constant conversations, not doing well in practices, having rough weeks and then having to come together. That's a big memory of mine even right now, is, having doubts about how we're going to play in a certain game. But, and then really so what we used to do is we'd go to our practices, maybe, so when we lost Rocklin, that was a big one. When we lost Rocklin, we came in on Monday into the locker room, and then we went into our PE classroom where we usually do all our film, our hit charts, and all this studying stuff. And we all came together as a team. We had captains and council standing up at the front, along with myself. And we kind of just asked questions to the entire team. And they gave us some feedback, what we need to do better, what we need to do, here and there. And the conversation really boosted our confidence. And so anytime we were feeling that way, doubting or anything like that, we kind of we did the same thing again. We did it over and over again. We checked in with each other, hung out on Mondays, our coaches even stressed it to us that we needed to build more camaraderie. And by the end of the season, tears were rolling because we were so close to each other. And that was the most you guys that anybody saw of us, is the emotions in the locker room after wins, after losses. I get choked up even thinking about it. It is amazing. The amount of joy in the locker rooms after wins, the sorrow, even in losses. It felt good to just be with my guys. Walking across that stage, I hope I'm gonna be able to say I made it. And I made it with amazing memories, amazing people, and most of all, my favorite people, my football team. And walking across that stage, I'm thinking about them, thinking about all the memories we made, not being able to be in the locker room again, going to hang out in there. We might even go hang out in the locker room after their graduation. Who knows?